Welcome back to the Retro Craptacular podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt. Hi, man. How's it going?
Did you say each munch?
I think I said month. Each month. I didn't get the
I don't know why I
on
thought
that.
it was so funny, but I did.
Each. Would you think I said munch?
I heard each munch.
Each munch. That's pretty good. We'll listen back to it later. I'm not going to redo it.
Well, hello, Aaron.
Hey, it's been a
Long week since
month
you looked at. Oh.
for the listeners, yet mere days for us.
Yes, something unusual here at the Retro Craptacular.
Or should we not shatter the illusion?
I think we did last episode.
Yeah, we did. Well, oh yeah, no, we mentioned that we were going to record another one. Yeah. All right, cool.
And I mean, we like to start our podcasts by talking about current events in media that interest us, and that can't really be the case on this episode.
Not really. So I'm going to talk about a very uncurrent event.
Sounds good.
I've been rewatching the Young Indiana Jones TV show.
I forgot that was a thing that existed.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how? Like how is that good?
Um
It sounds like a terrible idea.
it was very, very expensive to make, and that's why it kind of holds up.
Oh, okay.
Like it was shot in like 35 different countries
Wow.
over the course of like 2 years, and this aired on like ABC too. It's not even like this was like a HBO series or anything. Like this was on basic cable.
Huh.
And George Lucas was like, yeah, I'm just going to spend the money to make this show because I think it'd be cool.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, it's from the 90s. So it's like, it's a little
Tainted by the 90s.
tainted by the 90s. Like the production value isn't super duper high, but it's like definitely higher than other TV from the 90s. And
What was other TV from the 90s? I'm drawing a blank here.
Friends. I mean,
Okay.
that's not a good
Yeah.
example.
Was Relic Hunter in the 90s?
Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Relic Hunter was definitely from the 90s, I
Yeah.
would think. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, those kind of things, right?
Okay.
Like,
And it's like a step up.
oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
For
cool.
sure, because
Yeah,
it's all period pieces, right? Like
Of course.
early 1900s, and like the episode that I was just watching, they're like in the middle of the desert. Like they're filming in the middle of the what's that big desert?
Sahara.
That's the one. And like
I
a
was
lot,
tempted to just say Goji just to throw you off, but
that'd be the gobi. Goji's a berry.
I like Goji berries.
Yeah, they're good. It's like in a lot of the cases, it's like if you see, Palestine on as the title card, that's where they filmed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know why I had a sudden desire to watch it. I just I owned one of the episodes on VHS, as I think a lot of people did. If you bought the box set, it came with a VHS of The Treasure of the Peacock's Eye.
That sounds special.
Yeah, it's one of the weirder one. Like it starts off like I think they picked it because it starts like a normal Indiana Jones adventure, where like him and his friend are going off treasure hunting. They're looking for this diamond that belonged to Alexander the Great. But then like by the end of the movie, it ends with them getting like shipwrecked on this island, and like they get taken in by this tribe of people who are indigenous to this island. And eventually like a ship comes by to save them. But like the last 20 to 25 minutes of the movie is just them on this island. It's very, very weird. Very weird, but yeah, it's they came up with them on DVD ages ago. But there was like, for some reason, it popped up in my Amazon. Uh, just like based on things you've searched recently. And there was like a smoking deal on these box sets, so I bought 2 of them. And I've
Like
been
2 of the same?
no 2. There's 3 volumes.
Oh, I see. I thought you were like, yes, that sounds great. I'll take 2.
I'll take 2. um, no,
That's
but
weird. All right.
yeah, I bought 2 of them, and I've been
Got
watching
2
them.
complete sets.
Yeah, I got like 15 feature length episodes.
Man,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah, because I guess George Lucas kind of took some of the episodes, or took all the episodes, and edited them all into like feature length movies on their own kind of thing, because he can't ever just let anything go out the way it was. um, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I've been up to.
Crazy.
That's non-current.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you watched anything in the, what has it been, a day and a half since we recorded?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I did start watching a Netflix OG.
Ooh, do
Um,
tell.
It's called The Hollow. Have you seen the trailers for this?
Is it the German one?
No,
No.
that's called Dark.
Dark.
And I have seen the first season of that, and it was very compelling.
Oh, cool. I think you've talked about it before on the show.
Also,
No,
I definitely recommend just watching it in German. The English dub was left a lot to be desired.
Not good. Okay.
But it helps that I know a lot of German too. But
For
anyway,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, The Hollow is this. I remember when it popped up. It's this very strange looking kind of animation. It seems like kind of basic and odd. This weird kind of like. Maybe, I don't think. Who you all right?
Yeah. I'm
Woof, doggy. Yeah, the animation. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like parts of it are really simple and angular, and then parts of it are just. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to describe. I'm not good at describing animation, but the animation is odd looking, and that kind of like turned me off right away. I was like, that doesn't look very interesting to me, and I just ignored it. But then I kind of started reading the synopsis a bit later, and then it was just kind of one of those. I feel like watching something, but I'm too tired to watch something that's so interesting that I was like, I'm just gonna put on an episode of The Hollow, and it's it turns out it's Canadian, which I thought was really interesting.
That's kind of cool.
Features, almost all Canadian cast. Zelda's definitely at the window.
At the window. Oh, good. Yeah, she'll go away eventually.
That poor baby. Yeah, including
what's it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say including our own Ashley Bell.
Oh, yeah.
From Vancouver. Does she just live there now?
Yeah, she's from Vancouver. She's in Hay Ocean.
Yeah, I've met her once actually. She wouldn't remember me.
No.
Ashley, if you're listening, I know you're not. You don't know me, but yeah, it's basically like 3 kids wake up in a room, in like just a square room with no memories at all.
Oh, crazy.
And then like they're like, oh, there's a grate up there, and there's a typewriter on the ground, and a small grate in the center of the floor, like a drain looking thing. And then gas starts to come out of it, and they like need to quickly escape the room. That's kind of how it starts.
So it starts like the Phantom Menace?
Well, no, they have no memories.
Oh, okay.
That's the big thing. They have literally no memory at all. They don't even know who they are, and they
Right.
find pieces of paper in their pockets that have a name on them. And that's how they assume what their names are. And it's like, I thought it was going to be this weird, dumb kids show, but it's actually like, I mean, part of it is kind of dumb kids showy. There's parts of it that are really goofy and stuff, but then it's also like really kind of dark and mysterious.
That's called The Hollow.
The Hollow.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah. and
Would you
I
recommend?
I would recommend. I haven't seen all of it, so I don't know how it ends. I don't know if there's payoff, and I have theories about what's going on, but I just don't know. But yeah, that really piqued my interest. I'm interested to see how it goes.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I started watching the first episode of a show called The Terror.
the terror.
Sorry, season 2 of The Terror. It's an anthology show.
Oh,
Season 1 is available on Amazon Prime, and season 2 is available on BitTorrent. So it's a horror anthology. So each season, it's kind of like American Horror Story, where like each season is just a totally new story. Except this one, I don't think carries over the cast at all.
Interesting.
So like season 1 is about some people stranded in the Arctic.
Woof.
Yeah, and then during like the 1800s or whatever, they're like, or maybe even before then, they're like explorers
Huh.
on like a sailing ship.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I just started watching season 2 because season 2 really piqued my interest because it takes place during World War II in a Japanese internment camp.
Whoa.
So like after Pearl Harbor, the U.S. government rounded up anyone of Japanese descent
Yep.
and put them all in internment camps.
Sounds
Um,
heavy.
yeah, so basically it deals with like a woman, Japanese woman at the very beginning, kills herself by taking out one of her hair pin things. She had these long wooden
Mm-hmm.
hairpins and stabbing it through her ear
Your ear.
into her brain.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is cringeworthy. Like, there's the two things I don't like. It's like things going in ears and anything happening to like gums and teeth.
Ew.
I don't like seeing like teeth smashed. Like if there's like someone gets like their teeth smashed by like a rock or something, or teeth pulled out. That's a big like ugh for me. I don't know why.
Or like someone just has gingivitis.
Yeah, gross. Brush your fucking teeth. um, no.
So yeah, through the brain, huh?
So anyway, and so then like
Does it come out the other side?
no.
Lame.
And then the citizens believe that it's I can't tell if it's her spirit that is haunting them or if just a vengeful spirit from Japan has come to this camp. I'm assuming they're in a camp, but I don't know.
So just have to keep watching.
Yeah. And maybe it's just an all Japanese neighborhood. I mean, that kind of happened, right? Like,
Yeah, that's still a thing that happens.
like that's these like different like
Communities stick together.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where like the ghettos come from, right? Like you'll have like an Italian ghetto, a Jewish ghetto. I mean, ghetto now has like a different
connotation.
different
Yeah,
connotation to it, but that was the term for it, right? So maybe it's just it's just a Japanese
Ghetto.
neighborhood. Ghetto, yeah. But one of the cool things, the reason I one of the other reasons I started watching it is George Takei is in it,
Oh, hey. I haven't seen him in
and
a while.
he is fantastic.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Glad to hear it.
yeah, and it's actually kind of interesting that he's in this show because he actually was in one of the internment camps when he was a kid.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I read an interview with him where he kind of talked about that. So
Wow.
yeah, that's what I'm really digging it so far. I have like 10 minutes left in the episode. I was hoping I'd get to finish it before we started recording, but I just couldn't. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, by the time this comes out, I think the whole season will be out. There's 6 episodes out so far right now, but by the time this goes up, it should be pretty close to being done. So actually, maybe not. We're actually not that far away from October. But anyways,
Yeah, we'll talk about it in November, I guess.
sure. Let's talk about the movie that we watched. Unless there's anything pressing that you want to bring up, but I think
No, I think the only thing pressing is this movie
yeah.
that we need to talk about.
So we watched Psycho 4, the beginning.
which was also the end.
It was the end, wasn't it? We were originally going to watch Psycho 2, but then I looked at the back of the DVD, and Psycho 4 was like 25 minutes shorter. So we watched that instead.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Yes.
It's a good choice. Good choice.
And I'm glad we did, because I did some Wikipedia-ing, and apparently like Psycho 2 actually got like somewhat acceptable reviews.
Oh,
Like not like great reviews, but like good. People are like, yeah, see it maybe.
all
Or
right.
don't, whatever.
Well, yeah, Psycho 4, the beginning,
Yeah.
definitely sounded like it was going to be worse.
For sure. So it was a TV movie
Right off the bat, loving it.
that aired on Showtime, so you could see boobs.
And there were.
There were some boobs, yeah. And half a butt.
Yes.
A man butt. Half a man butt. Anyways, so it aired on Showtime in 1990 during a Psycho retrospective event that was hosted by Janet Leigh. Yeah. And it was part of the... maybe it was like the 30th anniversary of Psycho. When did that come out? 1960?
No idea.
Okay, I will kind of just casually look it up while pretending. Yeah, it did come out in 1960. Perfect. So, you've seen the original Psycho, I assume?
Yeah, but I mean, it's been a really long time. I don't
For sure.
remember it
For
super
sure.
well.
It is, in many, many ways, a classic,
Yeah.
and considered to be, maybe the grandfather of the modern slasher film. If Halloween is the father, it owes a little bit probably to Psycho.
That seems to be the general consensus.
Yeah, I saw Psycho for the first time on Halloween at the Empire 7 on Granville Street.
Oh.
Which it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But they had this like thing that they did where they did film prints whenever they could, and this was a film print, 35 millimeter film print. And yeah, on Halloween they showed Psycho, so I totally went and saw that,
Wow.
and it was great. I was also at film school at the time, and so it was like a cool film nerd thing to do, is go see Psycho on 35 millimeter on Halloween. And
Yeah, of course.
yeah. So I've never seen any of the sequels. This is the only sequel
And what a sequel it was.
to Psycho. It is a sequel.
It
That
happened, yeah.
That is true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is both a sequel and a prequel.
Yes. I'm actually really interested to give ourselves the challenge of recalling the plot.
Sure.
'Cause it's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a series of like vignettes almost, or like a Tales from the Crypt kind of deal, where the framing device is not the crypt keeper sitting there reading you stories. It's a radio show hosted by CCH Pounder, who what's her name in the movie? It doesn't matter.
She said it so
She
many
said it
times.
so many times. It's the name of the
Janet?
show. It's not Janet. It begins with an A.
Urethra.
It's Aretha. Aretha Franklin. No.
Alice.
Nope.
Abaca.
So Fran.
Whoops.
Fran Ambrose.
Right.
The Fran Ambrose show. That's where the A was coming from. So she's hosting a show on Matricide, which is boys that kill their mothers. And one of her guests is...
It definitely sounds like something, by the way, that you spray on your mattress to kill bed bugs. I'm just
Totally.
saying.
Matricide, yeah.
Matricide.
I am signing up for the patent right now. We're patenting Matricide.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're going to get rich.
Filthy rich.
So rich. Anyways, do people even have bed bugs anymore? Is that like a thing?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Um, I don't know. I've never had to deal with that. Where was I? She's
Bed
matricide.
bugs.
Yes, she's talking to a psychologist who wrote a book called "The Mother Killers: Boys
Mm,
Who Kill Their Mothers."
yeah, because young boys were well within
His sphere of
his
expertise.
sphere of
Yeah,
expertise. Yes.
which is not a thing you want to say
Never. Nope.
ever, let
Mm-mm.
alone in public on a radio show.
It was. It didn't feel good.
It did not. And there's a lot of things in this particular film that don't feel good.
True.
Um, beginning with so the framing device is Anthony Perkins, Norman Bates calls in to this radio show and says like, "Oh, well, you're talking about matricide. Why don't you talk to someone who actually killed their mother, like me?" And they're like,
Dun, dun,
"What the
dun.
fuck?" And
Which is funny because it starts with them actually having someone on the show who has killed his mother,
yeah,
along with his grandfather, who was his mother's father.
yeah.
And the dude's just like, yeah, I killed my mom. It was awesome. And she's like,
I went to prison for 4 years, and I'm like,
4 years. What the fuck?
God, it must be good to be white in America.
Oh my word, right?
Like-
And then she's like, so your grandson killed your daughter. Like, how does that make you feel? You must have loved your daughter. And the grandfather's just like, she was a bitch. She didn't deserve to have this son who killed her. And then, like,
Yeah.
really quickly, they stop having
They're
those guests on because what the fuck?
They're like, yeah, you gots to go.
It's
And then,
terrible.
Norman Bates calls in and uses the pseudonym Ed, which is
Classics.
kind of a nod to Ed Gein, who is the real life serial killer who inspired Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learn something new every day. And basically, yeah, it's just then proceeds to like flashback. He'll be like, they'll be like, so who was the first person you killed? And he'll be like, oh, it was this girl who tried to have sex with me. And then it just cuts to like a flashback of this like super horny girl just showing up at the Bates Motel and being like, hey, Norman, do you find me attractive? And he's like, not inordinately. She's like, cool. Do you want to go up into your house and bone? And he's like, not inordinately.
Yep, this is very accurate. Actually.
I'm not exaggerating too much.
No, don't fireworks get you hot?
Yeah.
Not inordinately.
Yeah. He says that about 3 times. Yeah, and so it's just like a series of like flashbacks of like, well, when did this happen? When did that happen? And it's like it's very like it's not a good idea for a movie, right?
No, absolutely not. It made the pacing like super freaking awkward.
Yeah. Well, and especially like because you kind of jump around, right? Like it's like first it's
Absolutely.
like him when he's already killed his mother. Like in that first sort of story where he's talking about the girl that tried to have sex with him, his mother's already dead and her taxidermied body is in her bedroom.
And I thought that he had said that was his first murder or something, so I was like really confused as to why his mother was already dead.
I mean, it was the first murder that wasn't his mother.
Okay.
But also it
But
wasn't.
also, no, it wasn't
Because he murdered.
Chet.
Well, Chet. Well, he murdered them at the same time. But then what about the older woman that he was making out with, the elephant tongue lady?
That's out of context. We'll get to that. That was after. I think he said that was the second murder.
Oh yeah, maybe. Again, not very clear.
No, it was
But
all
then
over
there's
the
also
place.
like it cuts back to him being like a child at one point at like his father's funeral and like
Yeah, and like his
all
mother,
over the place
his mother's looking real sad, but then she starts like tickling him, and then he like can't hold
at
it
the funeral.
at the funeral. Yeah, and then he can't hold it in, and he like gives out a chortle, and she really really quickly slaps him super hard in the face. There was no stunt double for that kid.
Nope,
wow.
that kid got
He got
slapped.
slapped in the face real hard. She was like, "Don't you have any respect for the dead?"
Could talk about how his dad died because it's kind of hilarious.
Right? Yeah, my dad died when I was 6. And
Yeah.
that goes to the flashback of
He was
the funeral.
He was stung to death by bees,
Yep.
which like they don't say if he was allergic or not,
No.
but they said like he got stung so many times by bees that he died, and then
Which,
they
like, absolutely is a thing.
sure.
But,
Is it though? Like
I
that's
mean,
I feel like that's a lot of bee stings.
yeah, you don't. There's
Like
there's
if
a.
you're allergic, absolutely.
I think there is a weird thing with like bees stinging you, where like if enough sting you, like the probability of you having an anaphylactic shock starts to go up or something like that. I can't
Okay,
quite
yeah,
remember
that
how it
kind of makes
works,
sense. Yeah,
but like it can happen.
because
But it is
they
a
stung
weird
him
thing
like
to just.
inside his mouth, is what he said.
Yeah, they got in his mouth somehow, which is I don't know.
Probably because he was like, ah, not the bees, not the bees. Like it was Nicolas Cage. His dad was Nicolas
He was
Cage.
his dad was Nicolas Cage. We cracked it.
It makes so much
And
sense.
that's why he's so fucking crazy. He blamed
Yeah.
his mom this whole time,
Oh my god,
but
guys.
fucking Nicolas Cage was his dad.
But fucking Nicolas Cage was the thing you just said.
You can quote me on it. Oh, that didn't come out right.
Nope. Neither did Norman. Whoa.
Sorry for the peak.
Yeah, that was wow. That was a big one.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm
So,
sorry.
but the weirdest thing about this is they don't have a closed casket. They just put a handkerchief over his face,
Yeah.
and then like, I guess it's hot in the church, and so they got a fan going, and it just like blows the handkerchief off his face at one point.
At which point, one of the people goes over and just closes the casket,
Yeah,
which should have been closed the whole time because
yeah,
his face was all fucked up.
man. There is nothing.
It's so weird.
It's super weird. I don't understand why any sequels were made to Psycho.
I had literally no idea that there were any sequels, let alone 2, 3, and 4. Like before you asked, like, oh, which Psycho sequel do you want to watch? I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, there was like yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's a TV show also. That's what I was trying to get at. That is like the good version of this movie, where it kind of follows Norman. It's a modern. It takes place in modern day.
Right.
But it follows Norman as a kid and his relationship with his mother, and like it chronicles them buying the motel and stuff like that, and him learning to kill. But it's not as like, at least as far as I got. I never watched all 5 seasons. I think I stopped at the end of season 2. Because it wasn't on Netflix. The season 3 wasn't on Netflix yet, and I wanted to binge it, and I couldn't, so then I moved on to other things. But
As one is wont to do.
it never got, in my memory, it never got as like weirdly sexual as this movie.
Yeah.
There's so many weird scenes where she's scared of, like, his mother is scared of lightning and thunder, and she's like in bed, like screaming for him to come,
Yeah, and he runs through the storm from the front desk up to the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Through the rain, it gets
Yeah.
all wet.
And then she's like, "Come here, not in those wet clothes. Take them off." And then so he does.
Strips down to his tighty whities.
Yeah, and gets into bed with her.
And she says, "Hold me."
Yeah, and then they're cuddling, and then I guess he gets a boner,
Yeah.
and then he freaks out and runs away
Because he got a boner.
because he got a boner. And then there's another scene later where somehow they end up rolling around on top of each other on the floor.
Yeah, so it's the hottest day of the summer, and she's really hot and fanning herself in her
Right.
like nightgown or whatever, her like robe. Really, it's like a silk robe.
Yeah.
And she asks him to what was the word?
Oh, blot her.
Blot her with her orange flower water.
Yeah. Orange blossom water? I don't know.
Orange
Something.
blossom is a thing, but I'm pretty sure she said orange flower.
Yeah,
Her orange flower water.
sure.
Maybe which is orange colored water from flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
No,
sounds like
it doesn't.
something
It's
she got
not a
ripped
real thing.
off,
Yeah.
but like an apothecary sold
Yeah.
her.
Oh, have some orange flower water. It'll make
Yeah.
you good. Just buy it. Yeah, that definitely happened. She was dumb. So yeah, blot her.
Using his fingers.
Yeah, which like is a word I have only ever heard in the context of our arrows will blot out the sun. 300.
Yeah,
I think that's the only
totally.
the only time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, to blot out. I don't know. That to me means like maybe if there's like a stain or like you spilled something, you blot it up. I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
yeah, I don't. But like cover up, I guess.
Yeah,
We should have looked up.
possibly.
Well, we could look. It's not worth it.
You keep telling.
Okay, and
what's
so he like gets this orange flower water on his fingers and like starts massaging it into her ankles and like working his way up her leg, and she's kind of like, mm. And it's already really weird, and he's like nervous and weird about it because he can't understand his feelings in this matter really at all. And then he gets like up to the knee, and then like the robe starts to fall down a bit. Ugh, I feel so uncomfortable even describing this. And then he accidentally tickles her, and she like moves, and he kind of off screen. We don't really see it, but apparently drops the orange flower water. We don't actually see it. There's just kind of a sound. They probably didn't want to waste it, and so they just pretended to spill it. At which point he kind of falls over in panic, and she kind of like
she starts to tickle him
like
again.
leaps up and like jumps onto him, and is like, you like naughty boy for spilling my water, and like in a kind of a joking way though, and starts to tickle him, and then the response there is that they are like rolling on the floor together like Anakin and Padme.
Totally. It's a total Anakin Padme vibe, and it's like as uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe more uncomfortable.
I'm going to go with more because then, yeah,
Yes.
he ends up on top and they're like panting and smiling, and it is very much like a young lovers in the field moment, except it's him and his mom, and then there's that pause, and then her face changes. And it is.
And his face changes.
Because he realizes that he is sprung
Yeah.
on top of his mom.
Yeah.
And she is not happy about that, which I cannot blame her for. You can blame her for asking to be blotted. Absolutely.
Yes. Which, by the way.
Oh, you found the definition, did you?
As a noun, it is a dark mark or stain, typically one made by ink, paint, or dirt.
So it does not apply.
A blot of ink. Or as a verb, to dry a wet surface or substance using an absorbent material.
Also doesn't apply.
Guy blotted his face with a dust rag. Or to mark or stain something, dark patches of dirt blotted the gray dress.
Still doesn't apply.
Also known as a blotch. So no, it does not apply. You're correct.
Okay, cool. Yep, that was... But that was the least weird thing about that scene.
Yes.
At which point, yeah, she freaks out and gets really angry, calls him a dirty boy, tells him to forget that he has a penis.
Yes.
He's not allowed to remember that he has a penis.
That's true.
And she puts a dress on him.
Mm-hmm.
And scrawls some lipstick on his face.
Which, like, she does a terrible job.
Yeah, you'd think, yeah, no. She was, yeah, no, it was sloppy. And puts him in a closet and says, like, you can come out when you've learned to not disagree with me when I tell you that you're a girl.
Yes,
I think is how that went.
Like almost verbatim.
Yeah. And
the writing is top notch.
Yeah, that's essentially how that scene ends. It's very...
Yeah, it's not... Look, the whole thing is, dare I say, bad.
Oh. Interesting take.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible.
The weirdest part for me is like
the word blot. Yeah.
is the word
I'm
use
with
of the
you,
word
yeah.
blood. It upsets me a lot.
Yeah, shouldn't have been used.
Yeah,
Dab would have been appropriate.
dab is a synonym that is applied here. But anyways, the weirdest part for me is that like you go through this whole thing, they figure out that it's while they're talking on the phone that they're talking to Norman Bates. He has a wife who he met while he was in the sanitarium. She knows his entire past.
Yeah, she was working there, like
Yeah.
to help people like Norman.
So she knows how crazy town banana pants he is. And
Very aptly put.
and yet she still marries him.
Well,
But so at the when he first calls, he says, "Oh, now I'm gonna have to, you." I say, "Oh, you've killed someone before." I said, "Yes," and now I'm gonna have to do it again. And they kind of figure out that he's planning to kill his wife because she's pregnant, and he doesn't want to basically continue his genealogy, which kind of makes sense because he thinks that it's his condition is solely genetic, and that's why he kills people and doesn't think that he should spread on his DNA, which he blames his mother for passing on to him.
right, which he
Yeah.
describes with the very well put line of well, let me just see how it went precisely. I would hate to screw this up.
Yeah, you wrote down a couple good lines actually,
I have her seed in me.
which we definitely both had to do a bit of a double take when we first heard that, because it's like, what? It's not something you hear a man say usually about a woman.
Like, is it possible? Is it even remotely possible that is one of those things that just like, oh, it meant something else back then when this movie was made?
1990? No.
No. I have her seed in me.
Because
That
like you
is
would hear,
overtly sexual.
yeah. Well, you would hear a man refer to his semen
Yep.
as his seed.
Yes.
Or, that's fucking biblical,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, no, never. No, never.
And what he meant the insanity.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
Because
that's what he was talking about.
as crazy as Norman Bates is, his mother was straight whacked.
Yes.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You are not wrong.
Exactly.
She was whacked, and he has her seed in him.
She was whacked, and he whacked her
Oh.
with the bottle of strychnine that they just keep in the pantry.
Yeah, a common household item.
Yeah.
I got two.
Poisons. Oh, good. Glad you're moving out. Poisons her and her boyfriend, Chet. Which, think of a better asshole name. There isn't one.
Yeah, if you really, for some reason, like your life goal is to raise a child to be a douchebag, name him Chet.
Yeah, if you want
That'll do the trick.
if you want your son to grow up to be a shitty stepdad in a trailer park, name them Chet.
Yeah, there you go.
That I feel is apt. And if your name is Chet and you're insulted by this,
Right into the show.
Yeah,
at,
let's
fetchyourcrappod@gmail.com.
let's hear from you. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah. And please be a dick about it.
Please be a dick about it. I mean, we didn't pull any punches with making fun of you, so I feel like it's only fair that you throw one back at us.
Yeah, it's true.
It is true. All right.
Do we just specifically try to pick a fight
Yeah.
with a potential listener?
Yeah, named Chet. And you know what? I'm not sorry about it.
I feel like maybe that's not the first time we've done that either.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Oh well.
I don't know why. I don't know why I want to pick fights with everyone. Just something in me.
The seed.
The seed of fighting.
Oh, it's so bad.
But in all actuality, we can always use more listener engagement. So if that comes with someone being like, "Hey, my name's Chet. Fuck you," then I'll be like, "Hey, man, he emailed in."
That would be amazing.
That's good. I mean, there's tons of I don't know. One of my favorite podcasts has a segment called Hate Mail, where they just read out hate mail that they've gotten.
Beautiful.
Specifically because they also have a YouTube channel as part of it. It's Mr. Sunday Movies. He has a podcast called The Weekly Planet, but he reads out shitty YouTube comments.
Oh yeah.
And just makes fun of people. They also have a great thing that they need to bring back called Dave Coulier, which is people writing in about times that Dave Coulier from Full House was mean to them.
Wow.
Because apparently he's just a dick in public, to his fans.
Wow. That's interesting.
I can't remember which character he was on Full House. I never, ever
I couldn't tell you
watched
either.
the show. I have never seen. He was Joey / Uncle Jasper. Means nothing to me.
Same.
Never seen the show.
So Norman's gonna kill his wife.
Yeah, he's gonna kill his wife. That's right.
Which, and I mean,
oh right. So this is what really pissed me off.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, let me just get. So we spend the whole movie with this back and forth that he's having with with Fran Ambrose, and then he's like, I'm gonna kill my wife. There's no way around it. And he hangs up. And she fucking get a friend. Fucking play with a raccoon or something.
That would be hilarious.
She befriended the raccoon.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't trust that raccoon.
No.
Hey, I'll be your friend. Give me all your food. Let me into your house. That's what raccoons sound like. I don't know if you've ever actually talked to one, but they're
I haven't.
real fucking skeevy.
Yeah.
I met one the other day, and he was like, "Hey, my name's Chet.
Perfect.
give me your avocados."
Did we talk about that on the show?
Yeah,
I think
we
did.
did.
Yeah, at the time.
I don't remember what episode, but
I think it was whichever one.
oh, the one where I had to run outside
where we had to
because
pause
there
because
actually
there
was
was
a family of
raccoons.
raccoons. Yeah. So Norman.
Okay, so Fran. He's been talking to Fran Ambrose.
Yeah.
He spent the whole movie talking to her, and then he's like, "That's it. I'm gonna go kill my wife now. Can't do nothing about it. Bye." Hangs up, and then we never see her again.
Nope.
I wish there was an after credit scene, and maybe we didn't watch to the end. Where they're just sitting around, her and her producer is played by John Landis. They're just sitting around going like, "Huh. Wonder if he did it." Oh well, nothing we can do now. The next show is coming in, because they said it goes off the air at 10 p.m., right? So maybe it's the late night psychic or something comes in and she starts doing her show. And they're just sitting there going huh, well, we almost stopped a murder, but I mean, well, it's public radio. Nothing you can do about it.
Right? And I mean, like there were times where she muted her mic and was like, "Go call the fucking police" and stuff.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to do anything. And the police wouldn't say anything about Norman Bates because it was privileged information. And
Sure,
so it was
sure.
Well, they did try to do something, but yeah, we get nothing from them at the end of the movie. Which, yeah, there was a real lack of focus in this movie, I feel like.
That's a good way to put it.
Because it was who was the protagonist? We didn't find out until the last 1 minute.
Well, the weirdest part is that the movie has a happy ending for
Yeah.
Norman Bates.
Yeah, which I mean, let's get to that in a second here, because yeah, he's gonna go kill his wife, and murder is definitely not the option.
Yeah.
When you don't want to have a kid.
Well,
But
the reason that he's I've decided I have to murder her is because she went off the pill, didn't tell him, which bad on her part.
Yeah, that's a relationship ender in a lot of people's
For sure.
spheres.
She also said that she would never get an abortion ever. Right? That was
Yeah,
kind
she would never end a life within her, even if it was to save her own.
that's exactly what he said.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, you know what? That's your prerogative, as the mother, that you can make that choice. What Norman should have done, if he didn't want to use a rubber, just go get the snip dude.
Yep, absolutely should
If
have
you're
gotten a
like,
vasectomy.
I do not want to pass on my genes to anybody because I murdered a lot of people and I think that that has to do with my genetics. So I'm just going to go to the doc and be like, hey, doc, chop my balls off.
It's not
I mean,
quite.
it would work.
It would work.
But, vasectomy is probably the easier way to go. But
Easier than castration? Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Well, hot knife. I saw Django Unchained.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Great movie. Great movie.
He definitely should have gotten a vasectomy. Like,
Yeah.
it's that scene
Yeah.
was so hard because it was like, ooh, she definitely should not have just gone off the pill without telling him, like tricked him into impregnating her.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what she did. That's not okay.
Yeah.
But like,
She also shouldn't have wanted to have his baby
that
in the first place.
every single thing about the scenario was wrong from both sides.
Yeah.
He should have had a vasectomy. She shouldn't have gone off the pill. She shouldn't have married that fucking psycho, and he should not kill her.
Yeah.
Like every single part of it was wrong.
Sure. Also, I really hope that people could hear the dog scratching at the window earlier, or else I just shouted, get a friend into nothing.
I mean, I hope that they didn't, because I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
So he calls his wife, tells her to meet him at his mother's house because it's his birthday, isn't it?
Oh yeah, forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
birthday.
It's his birthday. And she's like, why do you want to meet there? And he's like, it's my birthday, isn't it? And she's like, okay. And it's like, dude,
He's just like, I'm hanging up now, and then I'm leaving. I'm expecting to see you there.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
It's like, dude, you should know. Like, this is where he went nuts and killed a bunch of women. Like, that was like his thing that he did.
Yeah. Huh?
Was murder people in this house dressed as his mother.
Ooh, yeah.
And she's like, "Whoa, no, what's going on? Oh, just show up. Oh, hey, Norman.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah, you want to go in the house? Okay, let's go." And then he's about to murder her, but then he catches a glimpse of his own eyes in the reflection of the knife.
Yeah.
And he can't do it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. Oh, and just another amazing quote that happens in this house, and that is, she gets scared of him because he's going to kill her. And he slams her against the wall, and he's like, "What, are you afraid of me now?" And like she has said before, that she has faith in him.
yeah.
That like she has faith that their baby won't be a psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? And
Nice.
he's like, "You're scared of me, huh? All that faith and no potatoes."
What a line.
What an amazing line to give someone before you're gonna kill them.
I know, right?
That's amazing. If
That's right up there
for
with...
no other reason than to make sure no one ever repeats that that's something you said. That would be the reason that you'd kill them.
That's right up there with some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Like,
What was that from again?
Blade.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So fucking ridiculous. Oh.
All that faith and no potatoes. What the fuck?
Like yeah, and you offered an interesting hypothesis while we were watching this movie, and that's someone was writing the script for this movie, and they thought, no one's gonna read this, are they?
Yeah. And then no one did read it, and then they just shot
the
it.
fucking movie, yeah.
Like, they just kind of flipped through it. They're like, okay, we need the house, we need a radio station, we need the motel, and that's all the locations. Okay, great. Oh, we need Norman's house. Perfect. All right, good. Yeah. Just get the 4 locations. Someone rent a camera, I guess, and we'll shoot it. We'll shoot it. We're gonna do it. We're making Psycho 4, everybody. Great job. We're making Psycho 4. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a really good movie.
And it was not.
No, it wasn't. Or the writer was like, hey, here's the script. I didn't have time to write the dialogue, so we'll just put it in later. But this is how you need a radio station, you need the thing, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, cool. These are all we'll shoot this. Fucking no one's gonna watch it. Yeah.
And I hope that wherever in the world that writer is, that they got just this small blossom of satisfaction in their heart while we watched this movie and marveled at the line,
Yeah.
all that faith and no potatoes.
There's some other good lines in there that you wrote down, which we should mention briefly. I think we did refer to Elephant Tongue Woman at one point.
We did, yes.
I feel like that needs more explanation.
Yeah, we kind of jump back in time from the present to a young Norman just macking down with an older woman in her car at 2 a.m.
Well, she's not that much older though.
No.
She's like,
but he was
she's
like a
younger than
teenager.
his mother, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, she's like maybe in her late 30s.
Yeah, and he was like a teenager.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, like older in comparison, not like an old woman, but like older than him.
Yeah.
Anyway, macking down and yeah, it was the first line that was said in that scene. Yeah, they're making out. There's some saucy music, and she pulls back for a moment, lust in her eyes, and delivers the line, "You have a tongue like an elephant's memory."
Which, like, okay. If you're thinking about elephants, I think what she's trying to say is that, like, his tongue is really long.
I mean, like, that has to be it.
If you're thinking about elephants and, like, features that they have that are rather long, there's a couple of things that come to mind other than memory. I'm just...
And like, it's not even a thing to say that someone has a long memory.
No.
That's not a thing.
No.
It's a good memory. Did she mean to say that you have a good tongue? Because that's a weird compliment. It's not a bad compliment.
It's not.
It's
a bad
just
compliment.
weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. That's true.
You have a tongue like an elephant's memory.
Yeah, I mean, even if someone said
Now
to me,
blot me.
like if someone said to me, like you were gonna say to me, like, oh, you have a good memory, and they're like, oh, you got like an elephant's memory,
Yeah.
or you got a memory like an elephant, I'd be like, thanks.
You know what, Aaron? You have a memory like an elephant's tongue.
Huh?
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't like where this conversation's going.
No.
Are there any other lines that we missed? I mean,
No, those are all the
those
good
are all the
ones.
ones we.
Those,
Okay,
those
yeah.
are those are the goldens.
All the faith, no potatoes. What was the other one again?
I have her seed.
I have her
me.
seed in me, right? Oh, see, I
boy.
already
Repressed.
repressed that.
You already blotted that one out of your mind.
Blotted it. It's been blotted out.
It has been blowed.
I bloated from my mind.
Oh. And then he doesn't kill his wife.
He doesn't kill his wife, and he's like, he burns down the house, and he's like, I'm free now. And she's like,
I love you.
great. Okay, but the best part is that, like, he burns down the house, it's nighttime, and, like, it takes him a while to get out. He has to, the door ends up getting blocked. He has to go through the basement. It's this whole big thing.
He's seeing the ghosts from his past.
Yeah, everyone he's killed, his mother, Chet, the girl that he stabbed.
Elephant tongue lady.
Elephant tongue lady, who he tried to strangle like 3 times, and put in the trunk of a car and pushed it into a
Right.
lake.
Yeah, we never
and
really
she
talked
still
about that.
wasn't dead.
It was incredible, really, because
But okay, but hold that thought, because
Okay,
because otherwise I'm gonna forget.
Yes, okay.
So he burns down the house, goes out through the basement. His wife finds him. She's like, "Oh, Norman, you're alive," and he's like, "I'm free now." And then he fell off the stairs at one point and busted his leg, so he's like limping.
yeah,
It
and
then
she's like helping him along,
it then cuts to morning.
and the house is smoldering.
The house is
but
smoldering.
out.
There's firefighters around, and they're in like the exact same spot, still like limping away. Like they made it like 6 feet. It took them all night to limp that far. Like,
Apparently, yeah.
that was
Just a hard cut.
hard
the cut to
best, because like
day.
this movie does try to do some like creative transitions. Some work better than others.
There's one good one.
Yeah, that was the coffin one.
Yeah, when the face is revealed of his father, and then the dude goes to like close the coffin, then like we hear the slamming of the coffin, and all of a sudden present day Norman is there at the funeral, and he looks at the coffin and he's like kind of worried, and then it shows present day Norman looking worried, and there's that same sound, but it's someone at the door.
Yeah,
And I was like, ooh, I liked that.
yeah. Well, and he's also like leaning up against a shelf that's like the same color wood as the coffin, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that one was pretty good.
But then other times it's like, Mom, let me out of the closet. And then it cuts to him as an adult with his head on the ground going, Mom, let me out of the closet. Oh,
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah, not the greatest, but yeah, that was just that happened, and I was like, how fucking long have they been standing there? Like the fire department showed up, put out the house, was never like, hey, get the fuck out of the way because you're standing on the only path up to the house. You're standing in the middle of the fucking stairs and we're trying to put out this fire. Also, maybe, do you want some oxygen or something? Because you probably inhaled a lot of smoke. Can we put one of those shiny blankets around you and get you some fucking cocoa? No! They're just like, oh, we'll just go around you, I guess. Like,
Moving at
fuck.
5 centimeters an hour.
Oh, God, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's real bad. And what an amazing way to end that film, right? Like,
yeah.
golden.
But it has a happy ending for Norman Bates. That's
Yep.
the weirdest thing. Like,
Yep. Doesn't make any sense. That's what I meant by like it was only that last minute that we realized like, oh, Norman was supposed to be the protagonist this whole time. This was about his struggle, his journey, and him
Yeah.
overcoming his past and his inner demons.
Like I thought
And
it was
like,
gonna be
what?
the radio host was gonna have to like go and stop him from murdering his wife
Yeah,
or something,
absolutely.
right? Like,
how is he the protagonist of that's so weird.
I don't know.
It's so weird, and it was bad.
It kind of makes me want to watch the other 2 Psycho sequels just to know,
I mean, I get that, but then also, no.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff I actually want to watch that I don't have time to watch, so
Yeah, not worth it.
gonna not do that. So yeah,
Woof.
basically for a Halloween episode, the other thing was like there was not really a lot of like murder in
No,
this.
I mean-
there's like 4 murders.
Norman was really, really bad apparently at killing people.
Yeah. Well, and yeah.
The girl who wanted to have sex with him, he stabbed a lot.
Yeah.
And it took a little while, but he just stabbed her and then she died. But like we were saying before, Elephant Tongue Lady, he strangles her
In the car.
but like makes her
makes her
drive,
drive, yeah.
while strangling her, and then it cuts to them by a lake and she like falls out of the car, presumably dead.
Yeah.
He starts to drag her, then she wakes up. Idiot, just knocked her unconscious.
Yeah.
And so then there's this whole struggle with him on top of her, trying to get the cord that's around her throat taut again, and it's like takes kind of a weird amount of time, but manages to get it taut, and then
Yeah,
and then she's gone.
Yeah, he tosses her in the trunk, pushes the car in, but like as the car is sinking, you can hear her like screaming and banging on the
And
trunk.
the trunk starts to bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, she wasn't out for that long.
No.
And also, like, seriously, dude, 2 goes you had at it. You had
Yeah.
2 goes at it, and
And it says she has to drown horribly in a trunk.
yeah,
pretty fucking brutal.
So
Not a talented killer.
no, and like even like when he poisons his mom and Chet, and with the strychnine, they're like vomiting, but then they're like trying to fight him, and like
Yeah.
they fall down the stairs, and like they're still like vomiting, and it takes forever.
Yep. And then they go still. And then he drags his mother into the basement and puts her in a rocking chair
Yeah,
for some reason. And she wakes
because at
up.
the end of the first Psycho, Mrs. Bates, Mrs. Bates's bones were in the cellar in a rocking chair.
Oh, right. Of course, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But there was no reason in the movie for him to do that.
No, there's a lot of things that were done in this just because
Just because of the OG.
of the original. Yeah, like um, a boy's best friend is his mother
Right.
line.
Yeah.
That's from the original. That putting in the rocking chair. That's a thing, right?
I have her seed in me.
Nope. um, the peepholes in the motel
Right, he does use those.
that apparently his father put there. So his father is like a grody perv.
Oh, yep.
So maybe it was a little bit of genetics. He's got a grody perv and a wacky mom. Not the fun kind of wacky either.
No.
Yeah, I don't understand why this movie exists. I wish I had never seen it.
That is one big pile of shit.
It was one big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we had some fun joking about it. And there were some good lines in there. But seriously, don't watch
I would
this
never
movie.
watch it again.
Do not watch
I would
this
never
movie.
watch it again. It's so
Terrible.
yeah.
So terrible.
Yeah, even like no, it's no. It's just bad. I can't even think of like an exception to that. Don't watch it, like, unless no, there is no
No.
unless.
There's no one less.
Hui. All right. Well, I can't even be bothered to look up the Rotten Tomatoes score.
All right, cool. Well, it was low. But hey, if you, listener, have seen Psycho 2 or Psycho 3, please let us know what that ride was like.
Yeah. Psycho 3 was directed by Anthony Perkins.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's a fun fact I know. Anyways, yeah, if you've seen those, let us know. If you like the show, you can give us a review on whatever app you're using to listen to the show that you have on your phone or whatever, or right on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review if you don't mind, because really, you've got nothing to lose, and it helps us out a lot. And then, you can also leave a comment on that being like, you fucking assholes, my name's Chet. Why you gotta hate on me so much?
Oh, man.
My goal is to just like make it impossible for me to cut out any of the Chet stuff, so it all has to stay in.
Yes, perfect.
It's part of the fabric of the episode now.
Wonderful.
Um,
So hateful.
If you and then if the best way, honestly, to help out the show is just like tell someone about it. Be like, hey, you like movies that kind of suck? These guys watch movies that kind of suck. You should listen to the show. Or hey, Chet, these guys are fucking ragging on you, dude. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, YouTube, basically anywhere podcasts can be found. You can get in touch with the show via email at retrocrappod@gmail.com, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at retrocrappod. And we always like hearing from people. Yeah, I think that's I did all the things. So happy Halloween. This is going out in October.
Happy Halloween.
Woo!
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick.
We really need to end the show somehow.
You know what? I really like Chet Baker's music, and now I'm just wondering if he's an asshole.
Oh, right, Chet Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely crooner and like
For sure.
great trumpeter.
Wasn't your first dance to Chet Baker?
Yeah, at my wedding, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Maybe we should have picked up on that sooner. I always think Chet Atkins, which is like finger picking country music, like old school.
oh, interesting.
You find a lot of his records at like thrift stores in the record bin, right up there
Bad
with
sign.
Roger Whittaker and
Oh, yes.
Hank Williams and
So much.
Nana Muscuri. So yeah, Chet Baker. Maybe he's cool. I don't know. He's probably dead.
Chet Baker?
Yeah.
Oh, super dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely dead.
Good. I just mean mathematically, if he was alive at this point, it probably wouldn't be good for him.
Yeah. No, it'd be bad.
Yeah. He'd be on life support. Anyways, the episode just keeps going.
Yeah, my first dance, it was to the song Time After Time by Chet Baker, which is so unfortunate because every
Get
time
lost
that's what I think of.
and then we'll find it.
Time after time. That's what I think of every single time, and it's not the song at all.
Yeah. You know what your dance should have been, too?
Time after time.
Yes. No.
You give me fever.
I was gonna say, baby, I'm hot just like an oven. I need some loving. And when I get that feeling, I want sexual healing.
Well, there it is. Yeah.
Sexual healing is good for me. Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye is great.
Just put it out on Front Street.
Yeah,
everyone knows.
It was a tie between that and Queen's Body Language.
Ooh.
Body Language.
They did not play Body Language when I saw them.
Good.
Yeah, it was a good call. All right, everyone. So this is your last episode with us, living in the same Provence. You're moving to the other side of the country.
Yep.
We are going to do our best to keep the show going over great distances.
We're gonna try long distance.
Yeah. But that might come with technical difficulties. So hopefully we make it for November. We'll see. The goal is to have an episode out in November. Yeah.
I think we can do it.
I think we can.
I think we can do it.
I think we've pre-recorded for this month, so that gives us a whole month
Yeah.
and a bit to figure out how to do it. So cool. And that one will be Doctor Who the movie.
Looking forward to it.
We promised a listener, and if there's one thing we hold so dear, it's our listeners. Regardless of their name, damn it. Chet, you're all right. I hope.
We'll find out. Yeah, dear listener,
I hope we didn't.
Email in what your name is so we can make fun of you for it.
I mean, if people want us to make fun of them on the podcast, like, I totally will. People are like emailing, like, "Hey, my name's Josh, and I work in a lumber mill. Maybe make a joke about that." I'd totally do it. I'm not gonna waste good material now, just in case Josh from the lumber mill does email. I'm not gonna give it away for free. He's got to request it, but I'm just saying, I'm not opposed to making fun of people, should they desire that. So
yeah, I mean, give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Let them eat cake, I say. And with that, thank you for listening to the show, and keep watching crap.
Got there.